Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to open a few oysters. Can be a little bit tricky at times, but with this Type 301 oyster knife, hopefully it'll make our job a little bit easier, okay? So what you need is an oyster knife. You need some nice fresh oysters. Look at the size of these beasts. They are amazing. Only about 50, 60p each or something like that. And we need a cloth. Very important to have a cloth, okay? So what we do, just simply take one of our oysters and then wrap it with a cloth to hold it in position there. Then we take our oyster knife, but you notice this oyster knife has a little edge to it. That edge should be away from us, okay? And then you make a little, what you need to do, just poke the oyster knife into the side here and try and work it in to the oyster, okay? And just keep pressing, and eventually, he says, you will get in. And I think I am in. And then what you do is when you get in, a little lift up, like so, just to break the shell, and then run the oyster knife down halfway through, and then twist it, like that, which then releases the top shell, and then carefully, with the sharper edge of the knife, of the oyster knife, just ease away the oyster. That bit there we don't need to use. Now, another little tip is to get a bowl, because not only is the oyster the most important thing, but it's also the liquid within the oyster, okay? So what you need to do is just release the oyster from the little sort of sucky thing that it has on the side, but try not to lose all those nice juices, okay? And then if they do drip out, they drip into the bowl, so you're retaining them, okay? Then what we do then is I've got a little tray here with some rock salt and a little bit of seaweed on it, just for presentation purposes, okay? So I'm just going to continue opening them, and then I can pour those juices that I've retained from the oyster into the shells, like that. So you're getting the full flavour of the sea in with the oyster. Okay, let's open another one. So, into the cloth, protect it, hold it, you know, because they are like rock, aren't they? They're hard, you know, so you want to sort of, you know, don't want to cut your fingers to shreds. Oyster knife, blade away. Look for an opening in the oyster. I can see a little sort of hole here. I'm going to try and get into there, okay? In we go. Oh, no, that's broken. There we go. Into there. He says, there we go. In. Down to the side, a little twist, and then pull away. You can keep these little, you know, the shells for decoration in your gardens. Apparently, they're very, very good to put inside your planters to stop snails and slugs. Apparently they don't like it, so, you know, it has an alternative use. I think just generally they're quite beautiful little things. Keeping all that lovely juice, and then we just sort of pop another one on there, like so. And just for the fun of it, because I'm really enjoying myself, I'm going to open another one. I want to see if one actually opens really easily. Let's try this one. Okay, so again, point knife away from you. Look to get inside the oyster. Keep your hands well out of the way. Maybe this one won't open so easily. There we go, we can get in now. You just need to get into it. There we go, we're in. He's not opening much. I'm just going to move him to the edge of the board. No. No, let's not mess around with that one. Right, let's try this one instead. So in to the oyster. And then a little, that's it, down the side, twist, scrape away, like so. Over our little bowl there, because we want to retain those nice juices. and then onto our little platter. What we'll do is just, there's a little bit of shell in there, but we don't want too much of that. Just pour some of them juices back over. Okay, right, to accompany our oysters, what I'm going to do is just make a little sort of spicy onion. So what we do is just take a little bowl and we can pop that into the centre of our oysters. Spin that one that way around. And then we're going to take a little bit of lemon first off, and we're just going to slice a little lemon just round the edges, just for a garnish, more so. If you fancy a bit of lemon juice over it, you can do that. And then what we're going to do now is just take a little bit of shallot, and we want to finely chop the shallots. So, as we said before, chop that way, cut in a couple of slices, and then chop that way. You want to get it as fine as you can possibly get it, okay? Like so, and then there. You know, so it's all you're left with is that little tiny bit of root, okay? Give that another good chopping over. Get it as fine as you can possibly get it. That goes into our bowl. A little squeeze of lemon, a little dash of Tabasco sauce, just to give it a little kick. What we'll do, we'll just mix that up, and then that, you don't want a lot, you only want a tiny bit. That sort of sits over the oyster in there. So you're going to get a little fiery kick, and you get all the juices, the flavour of the sea, the oyster, and I think that should be yours, Dom.
Go on, hallelujah.
There you go.
Mmm.
How was that?